What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DR2727. Shout out to my Transformer collectors, 112 scale collectors, whatever you collect, shout out to you. And we are doing a live stream, and this is my second live stream. My first real one, we did a trial one, and I got a good friend, a good collecting guy, just a good solid dude overall, Mr. Eric B. What's up?
Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's all good. And so we are doing we're just gonna talk some figures, but I know one of the main reasons that people came is that we are doing a giveaway. And so what we are doing, we're giving away Fans Toys Rig. And I think it's a really great figure. It's still in the plastic, brand new, nothing with it or whatever. So I want to do is celebrate everybody who kind of rode me, and for everybody who's new, what we did was for 2021, every week we looked at an older figure and said if it was an MP by today's standards. And I had a whole bunch of cool people who, commented and stuff like that. And I wanted to reward them, the ones who commented, and try to do a giveaway of something to show my appreciation or whatever. So what we're going to do is around 9:05, we're going to actually do the raffle to see who wins. And I'll explain the rules about that later. So, and before we get started, I do want to give up a couple of shout outs. Asaf Martinez, what's up? Sir Cat Reviews, how you doing? Chili Con Carne, my guy. Thank you for the Hall of Fame. We're gonna talk about that later on. Loud, always. Eric, Robin, how you doing? Coco Cow. I hope I said that right. Classified C9. Shout out to you. Abraham, what's good? Latchkey Kid, how you doing? So just thank you all for chiming in, showing love. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So again, got Mr. MK Pat, what's up? Got Mr. Eric B with me. So tell the people about yourself.
Well, man, I've been collecting probably consistently for the past 7-8 years, maybe. I started off with MP01, the GameStop exclusive of Prime. Didn't really consider myself a collector at that point because I just grabbed that out of nostalgic reasons. Yo, what's up, Latchkey Kid, for sure. But then I went and found out that they did a Megatron, and there was a Fans Toys trailer, which is the first time you can even get a trailer for MP01. So got that. Found out about the Walmart exclusive Starscream, the one with the white, the MP03 mode, and the rest was history from there, man. Transformers has always been my first love. Love me some G.I. Joe. Motu is pretty cool. Thundercats. I'm an 80s kid, man. Was born in the 80s. Love that stuff. And now that I can consistently purchase and collect, man, I'm doing my basement now, so I can actually get that stuff up and stuff on the walls. I'm married. I got 2 kids. Married to a beautiful wife. And together we form Kennedy Village, which you can kind of see behind us here, where it's the Sickle Cell Disease Foundation, where we bridge the gap between sickle cell research and care. And my youngest daughter, Kennedy, has sickle cell, and it is named in her namesake. So that's pretty much me, man. Joined the Ram about, 2017, wrestling, whenever wrestling was the first go round.
Yeah.
TFCon wrestling, and met up with some cool people. It's how through the Ram is how I ended up meeting Darren, and we connected and been there ever since, man. I used to be a part of a podcast. No longer podcasting personally right now, but that'll probably change here in the near future.
That's what's up. Yeah, we met through the Realm. Shout out to the Realm of Collectors, those guys. I remember I went to Chicago 2016, and I didn't know who they were. I just seen a whole bunch of guys with Realm shirts on, and they were selling the rock boxes. And I had walked up and just bought a rock box, and that's how I first started. They told me about Into the Realm and stuff like that, so I started watching that, breaking the mold and all that, and just a bunch of cool dudes. And
yeah, man,
the figures are great, but the community is better. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, 1,000%.
Yeah, so
1,000%.
Yeah, so I think that, and I'm learning personally to take advantage of the community. So I would say everybody who, if you do like Transformers, take advantage of the community, because there's some very cool people out there. And we may not always agree on everything, but we do have a love for the brand, and that's something that you can always harp on with us.
Yo, I agree, man. And if it wasn't for the Ram, I wouldn't even have started podcasting when I did. Them guys got a network going. Every day they seem like they got a show on, and we be in a chat, just chatting it up and, kicking it with everybody and interacting with the guys as they live stream. So you know, that's pretty cool. And speaking of the chat, man, shout out to Night Wingingham, aka Chat Wingingham. We lost him due to COVID complications. If you know anything about the Ram, you know about the Ram chat, and he would always introduce himself to you and say hi and interact with everybody as they came through, man. So it's absolutely right when you say the community is basically what keeps us here. You know, the toys bring us in, but the community keeps us here, man. It's like Dust says, you get in what you put out. I mean, you get out what you put in. So shout out to you guys and shout out to the community, man.
And that was very well said about Chad. What Nightwing, I'm not gonna say his real name. Just can we just do a quick moment of silence for him, because he was a stand-up solid guy, and you know, just nothing real special, but just a quick moment of silence for him. So you know.
That's fair.
All right, so rest in peace, Night Wingingham again. Solid guy, man. Prayers for his family and those who care about him or whatever. So
yeah, man.
Your latchkey kid, that was the Night Wingingham, like who you saw on everybody thing. Whenever you win the chat, I know he would be in on the Realm. I know he went on figure action chats. Like whenever I saw a show, he was always, and he was very welcoming, like hello to everybody, asking how everybody they was and stuff like that. So, you know, shout out Pop Trump Tours. How you doing? 3 live stream was good. Lorenzo, what's up? How y'all doing? And just for some of y'all, we are giving away Fans Toys rig. We're probably gonna do that in like another 20-25 minutes, and I'll talk about, you know, how you're entered for that. And before we do that, let's talk about some hauls. What have you gotten since we started this show?
Man, over the past week, it wasn't too heavy, but it wasn't super light either. I got 3 things in. So if anybody knows about flight stands, man, Flight Pose, they haven't made stands in a while, but they're some of the best airplane or flight stands for anything you want to have levitated off the ground. And I got a 5-pack of those for like $60 via eBay, which is great. And then my boy Darren just told me he's gonna hook me up with a few more because I need them, man. So that's cool. I did end up getting that Halo Master Chief, the Mark 5, I think. No, it's the Mark 7 is what it is. No, it might be Mark 5 from Halo Infinite. So I got that in from 1,000 Toys. That's a great figure. And I just got this in the mail yesterday. Got this from Amazing Yamaguchi. Shout out to Toyco and Andrew over there. This thing is sick. I mean, I know a lot of people have seen the one from Flames Toys. It's kind of super stylized, but that one's more accurate to the game. But if you know anything about Amazing Yamaguchi, it has all the articulation you need to get every pose out, man. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I got the Deformation Space Seekers. Skywarp was like the last one to come in, but I got that a few weeks ago. So, yeah, man, that's about it. What about you? What you
I got Bob Orton. So I collect Transformers and wrestling. That's pretty much the only 2 things I collect. And so 80s, 90s wrestling was my thing. And so I lived in Atlanta, and so like the NWA broadcasted for free.
Yeah, that was that was their territory.
Yep. So we used to go as little kids. We used to go to all the events and stuff, and like all we had to do was like ride on the like boys club van. Like all we needed was a ride, and they let us come in. So many great memories with that. So like I had to get Bob Orton just to kind of flesh out my shelf of people or whatever.
Okay.
So
that's what's up, man.
I got this guy on Fans Toys. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful figure. And Fans Toys, I'm a Fans Toys fanboy, the founder, or whatever you want to call it.
Same here.
I think they make a product, and I think that the conversation should be had is like, because one of the things I think is they're more comparable to non-transforming figures than they are to their transforming figure counterparts. So like I know a lot of people want to compare them with XTB. And I understand why they're making the same character, same transforming things. But like when you look at build wise, I think that MMC, X Transbox, Deformation Space, you know, Transform Element, all them kind of sit in one group. And I think that Fans Toys sits in kind of another group. And I don't really know personally where to put them in my mind or whatever.
They like the creme de la creme, man. I think for a long time, Takara was the standard. And now what you're starting to see is Fans Toys, to me, has overtaken even Takara. Their paint, their sculpt, their build, everything that they've done. I mean, sure, like their transformations haven't always been the best, and their articulation even hasn't always been the best. But man, if you're looking for a screen accurate bot, something that jumps right off the screen, I think Fans Toys takes the cake.
I agree with you. I think Fans Toys takes the cake, and let me talk about it. 'Cause I got one more thing before we get to Fans Toys. I got this, and this is probably the most interesting thing I've bought.
Oh, nice.
A long time. the 3-0 Bumblebee. And I say it's super interesting. Let me get it right in the frame real quick. It doesn't transform. It's highly articulated, but it's super interesting because I don't know what space it fits in, because it's the same size as MP Bumblebee, but it's too, detailed to be kind of in your MP collection or whatever. But it doesn't scale with nothing else, and it doesn't really look like any other lure. So I think it's insanely smart what they did by, hey, we know we make premium figures, but this is a cheaper way for you to find out about our brand or whatever.
They created their own lane too.
Yeah, and like I think that this is a real danger. I know a lot of people who, like, we were having this conversation offline, who don't really care about transformation, just want like a good figure they can pose and G1ish. And this may not be Toon, but this is something that's Toon inspired, really good at posing, and it's was $60 or whatever. So like I know they're doing a prime, but I would like to see how far they go down this hole to see like how many people would like it and things like that or whatever. But it's really, really
Bumblebee and Prime are part of the big six. So if anything, you'll get a Megatron, a Grimlock if they do it, and Starscream and a Soundwave.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, so let's circle back. I see in the comments, I see Loud said Tesla 2.0 is a fantastic figure. I just don't like Perceptive enough to pay that price. It's one of the fans' toys I'm passing on. Never had a problem with Tesla 1.0. I think that for me, I get it because it's fans' toys at this point. They've kind of built that kind of collateral with me. And I don't love every figure. Like I sold their Hoodlum because I didn't think their Hoodlum was the best version of Hot Rod for me. But by and large, they're not perfect, but I think they make a standout figure. And when I see what I want in my collection, that's kind of what I want in my collection or whatever. So what about you? Like, what would you rank kind of like your companies or whatever?
Definitely fans toys overall is the best. MMC / Ocular Max. I like their Ocular Max line a lot. I think you get the build, the sculpt, the weight, the paint in their figures. Now they're not as painted as an XTB, but XTB still has quality control issues, right? So I got Lock as my alt mode. And my order was canceled literally in the middle of them shipping it because it had issues the first go round. So they had to recall all those figures. I got the second one. The second one's fine. It's a good figure. Transformation is terrible. And then so I would have to say probably X Transbots is a third because there's no one else around. I used to like Bad Cube. Their transformations were terrible, but they always hit the sculpts. So like for a long time, the only Huffer you had was either from CubeX or Bad Cube. And then I think now Takara is probably I still will hold Takara above X Transbots, but they're right under MMC, and like you can interchange one of those at any point depending on what comes out, because I got the MP Seekers and they are good. But it's a toss-up between two. I still think X Transbots has a long way to go. Like for instance, people are talking about Tesla 2.0. I think it's going to be a great figure. I have it coming. I got the Jansen because I needed an alt mode or to have an extra bot for my movie bots. The thing is good out the box. You transform it, the cannon is loose. Why are we having these QC issues? Did you rush this? Did you feel like you had to compete with fans toys because Keith is trying to solidify himself in as like the #1 spot? There's really nothing wrong with #2. Just be good at doing what you do. And don't worry about the rest of the competition. I think everything else will come. But I hope that answers your question.
No, but I think that's the good point. Like, I think that the community wants X Transbots versus fans toys. And I understand why fans toys price is high. X Transbots is more in a reasonable space. But we just need X Transbots to make a good product. And like, don't focus on trying to be fans toys. Just be X Transbots. Because I did a video last week, and X Transbots is the best hands down at making accessories. Like, they have the most thoughtful, the most detailed habitually. They have the best accessories from, Apollyon, who had everything you could think of that Takara copy, to, Tesla, to Jansen, the science stuff nobody else even thought of or whatever. Like, right. I think that, and to go back to that KFC brand, the Junkions with the gimmick of them all coming out, you could substitute parts and stuff like that. They push the envelope and the boundaries. And I think that that's cool. But I think that, they need to dot their I's and cross their T's or whatever, because like I think that we could all sit up here and say they nail sculpt, like their figures look the way they're supposed to look. Always have. Don't have a problem with that.
Even with a slight heroic look to it, right? Like they may not be 100% accurate to the tune, but they're so close, and they still give you their own flair. Like they give you like a little heroic look, like the sea spray they had. It wasn't 100% tune, but it was so close to the tune that you knew for sure that was sea spray.
Exactly. And then like Chili Con Carne said, the bug spray for Cosmos, the accessories for sea spray, right? Like they nail accessories, they nail sculpt. The paint has gotten better. They use die cast. They have all the elements, but it's the thing that frustrates me is like they don't put them together. You know what I'm saying? Right. And like, I need it put together, whatever the price point is. Like, I don't care if they have to raise it up $20 just to make sure it's good, solid QC that you can transform it back and forth or whatever. And so I just want them to get to a point that they aren't inconsistent, because one of the worst things in the world you can be is inconsistent. So like you said, Bad Cube. We all knew Bad Cube was known for, horrible transformations. But if you go into it, the figures are going to be built well. They're going to be look right, and they're going to have paint. And so at least you like, hey, I know the transformation may be sucked, but at least you know that going in, right? So instead of like, everything else. So that's kind of their kryptonite. But you brought up a good point. Like, I know a lot of people are talking about Takara and, kind of a little disenchanted with Takara. But I personally, the last thing I got their skills, and I thought it was amazing. I thought it was old school Takara, because I tell anybody this. When Hasbro Takara they can outdo any of these companies if they wanted to. If they weren't worried about stockholders and bottom lines and stuff like that, they can come in and make the perfect transformer because they have all the resources.
And certain safety measures that they have to abide by that no one else does.
Exactly. When you're a third party, you make toilets in the day and run transformers at night. You don't care. You don't have to worry about if a little kid chokes on something, right? Or if it passes this test or that safety test and stuff like that. And you're right, Forever Alone. I miss old school Takara too. I hope they go back to that formula like they did with Skids. I thought that was old school Takara, and I liked it or whatever. So me personally,
Wolf said that same thing you said. Skids was a great figure. He enjoyed it too. I hear that a lot. I have the X Transbots, and I got a Skids coming with my local retailer whenever he gets them. But I mean, that's what I'm hearing on the streets. Like, it's old school Takara. I think the last great Takara Carbot though was probably still Sunstreaker, and that was probably their best MP as of late. Outside of the Seekers, I like the Seekers. They're just not as tall as the Deformation Space, which I also like those too.
Yeah, I thought that the Sunstreaker was a home run too. And again, operating in the constraints of, hey, they trying to make it look like the license. They are operating in the license, right? Like they have to make it look a certain way for Lamborghini, but it came back and did a good bot mode or whatever. And so I really like. I have both X Trans. I had the X Trans by Skid, and I have the Takara Skid. And the X Trans bots in the 2 MP or not 10P. I said it was an MP. Like I said, it still holds up by today's standards. It was well painted. Had die cast. Some of the things that Transbots, again, dotting their I's and crossing their T's, you know what I'm saying? But for by and large, it's a good Skids.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, coming out the box, though, it had a loose shoulder. So they had to send out other shoulders. I mean, it's always something with them, man. It's always something. It's never like you get it out the box and you never have a problem with it. It's always something, which I'm hoping their Springer doesn't have any issues. I just needed to get the helicopter, car mode, and be done.
Yeah, I was telling somebody, I was using the Friday, Chris Tucker Friday. I was like, X Transbots is always ketchup, no mustard, Kool-Aid, no sugar. Like they always have one thing, and then they just don't don't complete that puzzle. And it's very frustrating with them.
I agree. I agree 1,000%. I also still like X Transbot Skids. Yeah, I mean, it was a good one, man. You have it in their bottom. Oh, you got the police mode repaint. That thing's pretty popular overseas, man. That mode specifically, like that cop car. Yeah, Claw 2 was flawless. I would give them that. It had paint scrape issues on the diecast piece that connects in the middle. But other than that, it was pretty flawless. And the amount of accessories it came with, again, going back to accessories, the 2 types of stands, the little creature thing that was in that one episode. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Red Claw, you made a good point. Like, that's what I want. I want them to operate at that Class 2 level every time. So, from a QC standpoint, you're getting at least Class 2 level or better, because whenever we talk about X Transbots, it's always Class 2 or the sea spray, the Neptune, the ones that people say are good. Well, when you ask somebody for MMC may say I can go back and say their Mirage, that Sphinx was good, or the Backdraft, or you know, you don't have, like, everybody says the same two figures that are good but aren't they aren't the best figures of all time. So that, that lets you know they need to improve their kind of QC. And I'll give my own personal edge Transbox. They're Wild Rider. I said that's one of the most beautiful painted figures of all time.
I agree.
They're gray, they're red, like it hit the mark, it looked the part, it did everything, but the transformation. I saw Bobby break kids because they use that translucent piece. I broke mine. I saw a couple more people break theirs, and that's what just irks me, because they can hit on everything but one of the most important things or whatever. And so I don't want to.
And that's why I feel like their dead end was probably the best. Not dead end. Dead end was probably the best out of that whole set. And it was the one that had lights in it. Like, I thought that was a pretty cool touch. But that was probably my favorite out of it, because I had the least amount of issues. It was painted beautifully. The amount of accessories that it came in, just a gun and a spoiler, but it was true to the show. It was true to the show.
It was. And so, enough about this Transbox. I do think that, like you said, them and Fan Stores are only two making kind of MP Transformers right now. We need it's like Spades. You need 4. We really need 4 companies. I think 4 good companies can carry the MP line where we wanted to go. So we got those two. Like, who would you, and MMC, but MMC, they dip between the reformatted line and the Ocular Max line. Yeah. So, like, who do you think we can get a 4th one? Because let's just say MMC the 3rd. Do you think we can get a 4th one for Well,
I would say the sleeper company right now is probably Transform Element / Deformation Space. Don't sleep on them, because and the reason why I put them together is because the rumor is that they are one company. They may have changed their name just because they didn't want to have no slack from Takara dealing with the Seekers coming out around the same time. But just they're smart, they're genius, because how many times have you had to wait 2 or 3 years for the second Seeker or the third Seeker to drop, right? They dropped 3 of them within a 6-month period. All 3, they're done. They're on to the next thing. And they came with backfillers. Like, if you got them from Shozi, like, this stuff, it makes it look just like the tune. And this is probably the most tune accurate bot I've seen in a long time from a third-party company, and that includes Fan Stores. Like, this is straight off of the scene. So I would say that's probably my sleeper company coming out. That's probably it. I say watch out for them, because if the Prime was good, didn't have ab crunch, didn't have much paint, but the second or third version, I guess they put some paint on it. Their Bumblebee was good. Their Mirage is really good.
Yeah, I hear nothing but great things about it. I hear people just say nothing but great things.
Yeah,
about
it's fire, man. So they put out 5 figures, 6 if you count the Bumblebee, and I think they got 1 more. It's not Jazz, it might be that Soundwave, but that's Legend Scale. That's probably the next company coming to make some noise.
I hope they do, because like I said, I think that, like, I don't have any of their figures yet, but everybody gushes about them or whatever, right? So, like, do they have diecast? Like, do those Seekers have any diecast?
Oh, yes. Yeah, tons of it too. The feet, I think in the waist, it might be some diecast, like the Takara stuff, the flaps, I think have diecast in them. But definitely in the feet, which is probably really where you always need it, is the feet. And it's not overdone, but it's not underdone either. It's a perfect mix. I like it.
Yeah, because I think that, not to keep going this Fans Towards Edge Transbox thing, but I think people keep wanting to say Fans Towards Edge Transbox. I think that to defeat Fans Towards to bring Fans Towards to the level that the community wants them to be, I think it's a group effort. I don't think it's one company. I think you have to have a group of companies making good figures to be like, that's when they get their real competition. Like, I don't think just MMC alone or Edge Transbox alone can do it. It has to be Transform Element, Deformation Space. They're doing the blast. Okay, now Edge Transbox is doing the Ultra Madness or the Springer. Now MMC is doing something. So, like, if all those 3 or whoever many companies they're doing something good, then the community can buy those and know that there's enough product coming out. Because that's, to your point, Deformation Space has solved the issue of it's not enough product coming out. Like you said, they did 3 Seekers in 6 months. So, like, and for all of us, that gives us, their prices are cheap enough where they're not breaking our banks, and what they're feeding our passion, and again, is keeping that passion and that flame going. Whereas like when you get time, like Fans Toys last year, 6 months, 7 months, you like a lot of people get out the fandom and stuff like that. It'll be like, I have enough. Because whenever you have a long time to think about that stuff, you really think about it. And all of us are kind of adult enough where you be like, I got kids, I got other, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So like I do envy them for being so prolific or whatever. So
yeah, and that's also a good point. ASAP, they are coming out with a blaster. From what we've seen, it's only just renders right now. So I don't know how far along they are, but if this is any indication of how they drop figures, it's probably soon. I can't imagine them sitting on a blaster waiting for somebody else to compete with them because they're such a small company. They don't have a footprint in there just yet. So I can't imagine them sitting on that long, especially since we just got the Robot Paradise Soundwave. So we know Fans Toys is eventually going to make a blaster, and it's needed because the only one that's out there is the KFC. And while it's a decent figure, it's it's not the best. It got some work to do.
Yeah, and so for such a Takara Soundwave show, Takara, this go back to old school Takara, right? Like I did a video with some non-collectors. I let them play with both of them, and they both like the Takara Soundwave over the Fans Toys. And they were talking about the detail, like how they had like the real life aesthetic and stuff like that. And they spoke to them. So, and that shows again, going back to Takara can do it if they want to. It's just a question of if they want to or whatever. So we're gonna stop right now. Put it on pause. We're gonna come back and do our conversation, and we're gonna do the giveaway. So I want to explain how this is going to work. It may be a little hard. So what I'm trying to do, give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. Let's see.
Yep, good point, Asaph. They did scare Fans Toys into giving us more head sculpts.
Yeah, so you guys can see my screen. I had a program that basically what it does is it takes all the comments from all the videos in the 2MP and not 10P series. So let me go on and talk about, again, just to rehash, 2021 2MP or not 10P. I basically looked at a figure every week, an older figure, and said if it's an MP by today's standards or not. And I did that for a couple of reasons. One, to keep me engaged in it. And two, it gave me a chance to kind of mess with some toys, some figures I had that I haven't touched in a long time. And it kind of just like, hey, this was cool back then. This was interesting engineering, whatever. Oh man, this was sucking today's MP collecting game. Why did I even buy this back then? So just some things I learned from it and kind of a little fun I had with it. And I just want to share that with the community or whatever. So what happened, what I did was I got a program and it lists kind of all the people who commented on it, and it just says how many comments they did. So if you see like Loud had 67, Road Dog had 52.
Did you make this program yourself, or is this out there?
No, I made it myself or whatever. So
look at Bill Nye the Science Guy over here.
Oh, yo, sometimes. Sometimes. But it's real. I really want to celebrate everybody who commented on it. So what it is it's a random drawing, but of course, the more you commented, the more times your name is entered in. And let me copy over real quick while we're doing that. Give me 1 second.
Oh, that's some nice art back there.
Oh, yeah. I love the Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron series was so good for me.
That freaking video game was phenomenal, man.
It brought me back. Like I've had moments, and I'm gonna do a video. I actually have a video about that. I have moments in Transformers where like I kind of like, you know, I wasn't disenchanted, but you know, you just lose focus, right? Or not focus. You just don't understand.
Yeah, I feel you.
And so like the game brought me back in. Like when I was out or just not like just casual, it brought me back in or whatever. So
yeah,
like,
that was a dope game.
I always love it. So over
look
here,
at that, man. We get to talking about these two and look at your ads, man. They always tracking. Look at Blaster and Tesla 1.0 there.
So thanks, Eric. It's great art. So so how this works is every name, so like Loud had 60 comments, so his name is in here 60 times. Basically, however many times you comment on the video, that's how many entries you get into here or whatever. So the more you come in, the more you get. So I just want to show, you know, it's moving kind of slow, but I just want to show like how it works or whatever. And again, we're giving away a Fans Toys rig, and we're paying for shipping and all that other stuff or whatever. It's just I'm going to draw 3 names. So the first one is the winner, and if they have a week to get in contact with me. If they don't get in contact with me, then it goes to the second one. You know, I'll put the second one, you have a week to contact me. If the first one hasn't contacted me, then you get it. 1, 2, 3, all the way up. And so hopefully we get this thing done. If nobody contacts me, those 3, then I'll just randomly pick somebody out of this list and just send it to them. Or the first person who comments on my next video, I'll send it to them. So I tried to be fair to the people who commented, but reward the people who commented the most or whatever.
And how can they reach you once they win?
They can reach me through this video or any video, any of the YouTube video. You reach me and just say something, and I'll I'll put in my contact information in this video. Like I'll give you
probably best to throw out that email for your show.
Yeah, I'll tell you it's digital DaronDaron@gmail.com. But I'll pin it to this video so you can figure
there you go.
There you go. Thank you for helping me with this or whatever. So
No
let
doubt.
me shuffle the names, and let me see. It says number of winners, and I need to figure out how to draw. 1 second. I don't even know how to draw, so this may be a one moment. Hold on. 1 second. So it says
it's 412. Man, you got some commenting people on this, boy. Good job.
Well, I always be the one who kind of be like, comment. Give me 1 second while I should have did this behind the scenes. So it says pick a random name, start. So
there you go. There it is. Oh,
congratulations, Todd.
We got Todd.
Yeah, so Todd is number 1. Let me write that down. Todd, you have a week to email me or contact me in a video. Then we'll go from there.
I'll toss it in the private chat for you.
I appreciate that. And then let me select the second name in case Todd doesn't comment to me.
Dang.
The next one is JZ457. So again, if Todd doesn't come back to me, then JZ457, you will be the next one. Then last one.
This thing moves so fast. Let me get my fingers ready. Red Claw, look at that guy.
Red Claw. So like if those 2 don't win, then Red Claw, you're next or whatever. So again, just want to say thank you guys for this. And it's my expense for shipping. Everything is free. It's just you have to contact me and let me know. And so I just want to, hopefully I can get more giveaways and stuff going. Like if my channel grows, I want to always reward people for like being interactive or whatever. I don't care about subscribers. I care about commenters more so than anything else. I love those conversations. So I just want to
interaction with the community.
Yep. So, all right. So again, congratulations to everybody. Todd, Jay-Z, and Rick Law, congratulations to you guys. And like I said, if Todd don't contact me, then Jay-Z. If Jay-Z don't contact me, then Rick Law. I know you're around, so I know I'll find you one way or the other. I appreciate that. Eric.
Yeah, Latchkey, you got to get in them comments, man. You got to slide in them DMs every now and then. I'm a long time viewer. I don't know if I ever commented, man. You got to get in them comments.
You got to comment, man. You can't be a lurker, man. Lurkers don't get no love. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot your shot, big fella.
What the girl say, I don't bite. Like, I don't bite.
Oh, man. Good stuff.
Yep. So again,
well, congratulations to the winner, man. Whoever claims that. Hopefully, Todd, you don't miss your shot. But if he doesn't, you got 2 other names there, man. So congratulations. And shout out to you for doing this, man. Like that rig figure wasn't cheap. So that's to be appreciated. Showing the community some love.
Yeah, man. Trying to the price thing isn't big. I think it's a wonderful figure. I think so too. I think it's a Hall of Fame figure. So, like, one of the things, shout out to Chili Con Carne, he gave me the idea last year of doing the Hall of Fame, Transformers Hall of Fame, and we did that. And I think I'm going to do that every year. Maybe for Super Bowl Sunday, have a video drop every year about Transformers Hall of Fame. So, I'm going to put this question out to the chat and to you. What figures would you say should be, like, if we were doing nominations for Hall of Fame, what figures would you say be in the MP Hall of Fame?
So I ran through that video, and a lot of the figures that I would have nominated are definitely in there. So like Quiet is probably one of the best Cyclonus figures I've ever seen. That's actually my favorite figure on my shelf, period. Road King, absolutely. the fact that what it pulls off, the mass shifting, you get the whole bot inside of that one figure. No one's ever been able to do that, including Takara back when they were younger, man. So it's pretty cool. I'd have to say MP44 is definitely in the Hall of Fame for me too. A lot of people gave it crap because of the knee issue, and that was an issue for a lot of people out there. But I preemptively just put a stronger spring in mine, and I didn't have that problem. I think you got to talk about these coming up, and I know you haven't handled one yet. So hopefully, are you going to BotCon this year?
I'm in Atlanta, it's in Nashville, so like my wife, like, you gotta go just because it's so close.
Yeah, it's so close. And how many times has that happened? So I'm gonna bring this down, and if you haven't messed with it by then, at least one of them, I'll bring one of them down so you can check it out. I think you got to consider these to be in the Hall of Fame. Everything that it pulls off, even though I like the car, actually I love the Takara ones a lot. This one has every piece of articulation you want. Like I said, I mean, it's got an ab crunch. It's got waist swivel, and Takara doesn't have anything with the ab crunch, but it also has the back fillers that come with it if you bought it from Show Z. So, but even the fact that it's made is the back fillers are a nice added touch to them. I would have to say that I think the Transform Element Mirage is up there for sure. When it comes down to fans toys, I think Sovereign was up there. That new rig is probably up there. But you can only pick a certain amount every year. So I think once this year goes on, if we don't get dead end from fans toys, you got to talk about the two Perceptors being up there as well. But in the past, I think the video that you put out, a lot of those were up there that I would have picked too.
So I would say I want this to be a community kind of just like a normal Hall of Fame, right? Like, it's not just me saying. I want, like, people, like you said,
like a ballot,
type thing, and like people can say, like, I want this to grow to where it's more of a community thing. I would say that for me, if I were to nominate somebody, somebody made a good point. I would have to nominate Thomas. I think Thomas, Fans Toys Thomas. I would have to nominate that one. I would nominate the KFC Junkions. I think for like at least the first two. I think for that gimmick where they could.
I guess how many did they drop? 6 total.
Yeah.
So I got all 6, and I like them all.
Yeah, and so like I think that you gotta nominate those just for like innovation, right? You know what I'm saying? And when we're speaking of innovation, I think you got to nominate MMC's Bruticus. Like, regardless of where you sit on the figure, like whether it's a good, but like the fact that they did all parts forming and proved and basically physically created something with no parts forming, all built in, I think that needs to be celebrated. Now, speaking of that,
I did, and I forgot one thing, but I did get their Red Alert. Not Red Alert, their First Aid, phenomenal figure. It probably would, like, if I had to nominate this year, Rig and that figure are in my Hall of Fame for this year. Like, my nominees going into Hall of Fame. That thing is amazing, bro. Amazing figure.
Yep. And so Lorenzo asked a question I want to ask to the group and to you too. He said, what figure got you most excited when you first saw it? And he said, I remember the first time I saw Scoria at a convention. I was hooked on third party, especially Fans Toys. So what figure got you the most excited?
There's 2. So I'm a huge, there's 3, and I put them in order too. I'm a huge Stunticon fan. I bought every iteration of the Stunticons that are out right now, as far as the original G1 tune. I don't do IDW. Never read this stuff. Never looked it up. So when Fans Toys is making them, I instantly was like, I gotta have them all. And DX9 is my Minotaur right now. Phenomenal figure. But any Stunticons that were being made, that was my number 3. Thomas was my number 2. When I seen that, I said, finally, we got an Astro Train, and I bought 3 of them. I bought one for each mode. It's a phenomenal figure. It's not that difficult to transform. It isn't the best going from mode to mode, like from airplane or shuttle to train, but the paint, the sculpt, I mean, I don't think that thing made it to my shelf for a good month because of the how well it was done. The paint, the sculpt, I mean, that thing is phenomenal. And number one, when I saw MP 44, I was like, yep, that's it. That's my prime. I gotta have it. It's the most tune accurate prime. The articulation was crazy. The amount of accessories it came with were bar none. I had to have that figure. So those are the three when I was like, yeah, I saw that and was like, yeah, I gotta have those. Hands down. What about you?
For me, so if I have to rank number 3, Fans Toys Tesla 2.0, because Perceptor is I'm the weird one who Perceptor is my favorite character.
I mean, we see you, big brain.
So Perceptor was my favorite character. And so like when I saw that one, I was just like, and I knew Fans Toys was gonna put their sauce on it. Like I was like, I had to get it. My second one, like you said, MP44. Like you don't beat Takara at Prime. Like I know a lot of people like whatever iteration Prime they got, but they're gonna do Prime right, and they did Prime right to me.
I agree.
Number one is Fans Toys Quietest. I had Elagos, and like me and my wife actually did a video on this channel where I do Transformers toe to toe, where I let people who aren't collectors touch them and say which one they think is the best. My very first one was me and my wife doing it with Quietest versus Elagos. And like
that's a good comparison.
When we opened that box, like she was like, whoa. And I was like, because that's one of the few times, or at least Fans Toys, like their best box, the pictures don't do it justice. Like when you get it and you open them up, it's like it's way better than the pictures or whatever.
Well, the paint alone is enough to pull your eye to them.
You know, they say Motor Master is the best MP of all time. If you go in my video, I said it's the Michael Jordan MPs or whatever. Like it's the greatest to me. Like the all-in-one, the articulation was there, the sculpt. You know, like again. What third party can do is amazing. I think that was one of the best things.
If that's MJ, MP44 has got to be LeBron James, man.
MP44, like I know it's an expensive figure, and I know people, you know, but that thing that's amazing. That MP44 is amazing, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
a fact.
That's an amazing figure. And so I actually was gonna do, if we do Hall of Fame, I do want to do an old school kind of an old veterans committee type thing. And I think I would nominate the Datsun mold. I think the Datsun mold,
and no one's done it. No one has redone that ever since. Those were the one, and so much so Takara put them out in the tune versions. Like no one has done those yet. And I don't even know if we need an update.
I think that we could say we need an update just from like materials, right? Like it didn't have die cast, right? So like I think when you think about kind of those figures still hold up, like they still hold up, like they did, like they made it tune and still got those tune looks. So look, if you have a tune looking collection, then you can get the plus version and it fits that collection. If you have more of the you know how I look in the real world, you get that. Like I think that figure, if I was nominating the old figure, I would nominate that too, because I think that's a really good figure. But
no, I agree.
But going back to like the other one, those are the three figures that kind of like got me so hyped and I couldn't believe it. And like it's amazing that all of them have hit. Like every figure have hit in that space. So like, you know, I think it's a great time to be a collector. All that to say that.
So while I was excited for Quietest, and again, that's still my favorite Fans Toys figure, even more so than Thomas and Motor Master. When I seen the pictures of it, I mean, I was like, yeah, cool, it's coming. I'm gonna buy it because it's Fans Toys, and it already looks better than what we got from X Transbots. But it is one of those things where when I got it, I was more excited when I got it than just seeing it on you know, for the first time. Even at a con, I don't think I saw it at the con. They released it at the con.
They released it at that that was resting, wasn't it?
That was resting.
Yep, that was resting.
Yep, that was no, maybe it wasn't. That was Chicago. I think that was Chicago. Yep. Yeah, because I remember Ian, that's when I met him, and he bought it. Abe bought it. I think they both threw their boxes away because they were flying. Abe, if you're in the chat, you know, let me know if I'm right or not. But they both threw their boxes away because they was flying back home, and they shipped them back home with them in their book bags. But that thing was dope.
It was. Like I remember,
I got 3 of those.
I just remember being so hyped because I knew Fans Toys was gonna have a good figure die cast, but I think that was the first figure where they did a full all right metallic all out paint or whatever. And that's
because the chest was die cast, the feet were die cast, even part of the legs is that all the joints were die cast. That thing was crazily built, and for him to be a thin figure, it was super heavy.
it was or whatever. And so it just that I just remember just being like amazed at that. But to spin it forward, what figures are you looking forward to coming out the most this year? Like, what would be your 3 most anticipated figures of this year?
Well, we need another blaster, so if TE actually makes it this year, but that mega tank from that new company, what's up, Deluxe? That mega tank, I'm waiting on that to come because I want to put that with my Toy World Bumblebee movie prime. So I have that. I'm looking forward to finishing Defensor if MMC does it. I know they got a late start. But we don't have proper bots for Defensor, so that's a huge hole in a lot of people's collection. X-Trans bots, they're gonna be like my Defensor proper, but I need those bots. What else is coming this year that's already slated? If we can get both of those limb bots from X-Trans bots, I mean not X-Trans bots, Fans Toys, the aerial bots, I'll be happy to complete that team finally. I don't care about combining them because I got the Zeta. So you can give me all that stuff later. But if we can get those and dead end, I'd be happy. And then I am looking forward to the new Fans Toys Trailbreaker, Hoist, Mirage, and Jazz. So those are like my most anticipated this year. I still haven't gotten it's not a Transformer, but I am still looking for the Figma Jinsaki from Ghost of Tsushima. I don't have mine yet. BBTS, no, my retailer got delayed on them still, so I'm waiting on that to drop. But that figure looks amazing. So if you know anything about Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation 4 and 5, that figure I'm waiting on.
What's up, Eric? And what's up, Deluxe? I see Deluxe, you saying Fans Hobby, Armada Megatron. I know somebody who has an early copy of that, and he's gushing about that thing already. So like you will be thrilled once you get it in hand. So
it looks good.
He said it's built well. He's gushing over it. I don't know if you met Dre before, but like he's gushing or whatever. Yeah. So he does, I think, photography work for them or something.
Okay. I don't know if he's in my masterpiece Transformer photography group on Facebook, but there's a guy who got one too, and he shot a good shot of him too. It's almost like a sunset type deal on face. It looks good. It looks good for sure.
Yeah, for me, what I'm most looking forward to this year, I'm looking for Flames Toys Hot Rod because I've been on the non-transforming kick lately, and I have the Torn, the Megatron, the Star Saber, the Drift, and the Hot Rod and Drift. I know you're not an IDW fan, but anybody who knows IDW know that they kind of go hand in hand. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Fans Toys Jazz. I want to see how the Jazz turn out or whatever. And I'm looking forward to he's coming. He should be here soon. But 3-0, that movie Prime that they just released.
Oh yeah, that does look good.
Look forward to him or whatever. So
yeah, that does look good. Oh, Deluxe said he think Kuma got one as
well.
Kuma
did a review yesterday. He does. He had a review yesterday. But I remember Dre saying that, like, I actually talked to him, and he was like, I actually know him, and he was saying how great it was or whatever. So,
yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's some good figures. Oh, somebody did mention, I guess, for like Hall of Fame nomination. Lowell, let me know if I'm wrong. But that Pexis, that IDW Prime that they came out, that everybody gushed over. They got two versions. They got they got a Nemesis and a regular Prime, and that thing does look good. I actually was on the fence. I was very close to picking that up, but I wouldn't go anywhere, so I'd be wasting money.
Man, Law, I think that from what I've seen about it, this Knox, and again, this goes back to the greatness of MMC. I think it moves like a non-transforming figure. Like, I think that's the ultimate compliment you can give some of these companies. Like, if your figure functions like a non-transformer figure and it transforms, then that's the ultimate tip of the cap in my mind. And that thing moves like a non-transforming figure. And so, like, kudos to MMC, and they habitually engineering and articulation of their things or whatever. Like, they need to get their flowers too, because they've pushed the envelope or whatever in that space in MP Transformers to me. So
there's another figure they got that really moves like a non-transformer figure. They're Springer. The car mode sucks, but the other two modes, they hit the nail on the head, and that thing is slick, man. And I think their RC did too. It was small, it was tiny, but a lot of people like it.
Hey, Deluxe, is this the MDX Bumblebee? I know you
Yeah.
were saying this is so much fun. It is, and I really want to have a discussion about this. And I was just saying this at the beginning of this video. Where does this fit in? Because, like, I really want to have a discussion. One day, hopefully I can get on your live and we can talk about it. Because I really think that this is an interesting way to see where Transformers is going in the future and what 3.0, excuse me, where they plant their flag at or whatever. Because I think
I feel like if you no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you finished. I can say that. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say I think when you look at action figures, if you see I don't do non-transforming figures and I got my reasons behind it, but I think if you want an action figure and you don't care about transformation, Flames Toys and 3.0 is the way to go. And it's not even close.
They make fantastic products, but like the knock on Flames Toys is now their entry point. At least non-model kit, just their normal stuff is like $300. So like, and 3.0 is cheaper, but like this is $60, and this is insanely smart to be like, hey, let me put it in focus. Hey, try our product. And so like if they sell well enough, and we talked about this, they're gonna have a prime.
Yep.
I'm sure they're gonna do a Megatron and Starscream, like you said, the Iconic 6. I wonder how many collectors will be interested in this for their G1 shelf. Because again, a lot of people I know say they don't transform. They care about tune accuracy, but like these things are a little more stylized, a little more mature than tune accurate. But for that price point, because again, in the spaces I'm in, I always hear like, price is one thing, tune accuracy is the other thing. Like the main two kind of drivers for people.
Yeah.
More so than even transformation. I wonder like how many collectors will replace MP box with some form of this, or replace legend scale with some form of this, because this is a legend scale price nowadays. So like, just curious as to where this would go.
Shoot, I don't know. Did you see the price of that Cyclonus is coming from New Age? That thing's like $100, man.
Yeah, it's $100. So like, again, I know these probably won't scale. The plastic feels good, loud. It's a really cool figure. Like if you ever have some space or cash, I don't know about starting a new line, but if you like desk box, this is a perfect desk box. You can put it in any pose. It's the size of MP Bumblebee, so it's not that big or whatever.
It's a small one.
But Deluxe, why you out on Flames Toys?
Because they're expensive. That's where that's coming from. Not to mention that Star Saber Star Convoy, the Leo Convoy, or whatever you call it.
Leo Convoy, I got it. I haven't combined mine yet. And I
don't.
I did a rundown of all the figures I bought last year. That the Lion, the Victory Leo, was the second worst I bought. Besides the second worst figure, third worst figure I bought. And the reason I say that, it was all about the combine mode. Like they have no experience doing any type of transformation combining thing, and it showed because all the reviewers said it. Deluxe just said it. Everybody who is just flimsy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So for that price point, you can't feel that bad. So I think that there is a certain thing about price with it. So New Age is $100 ASAP. Like, and it looks great, like you said.
But that Cyclonus looks like Fans Toys.
Yeah, it's the Landry versus Fans Toys. But I think you could put another 100 and get Fans Toys, or put another, catch you a deal and get Fans Toys or whatever. So, the paint is good on it, loud. Deluxe, you said 3.0 is built way cheaper, much better and cheaper. I agree, they're built better and cheaper. I could see that or whatever. I think Flames Toys just sticks in that IDW kind of niche though. Like they're more, if you want an MP kind of, if you want a quote unquote MP type of IDW figure, I think they feel that niche or whatever.
I remember the first time I messed with their Tarn was probably at TF Con. I don't know if that was wrestling. I think it was Chicago when Flames Toys showed up. They also showed their Iron Man and War Machine. That thing was crazy. That Tarn is nuts. It's nuts.
It is beautiful. It's beautiful, and it does the job. But like, not to keep giving Fans Toys their flowers, but Fans Toys is built just as good. Well, now it may not have all the articulation points because it has to transform, but like sculpt, build, all that stuff is right up there with it or whatever. So
okay. Like, if you don't have to spend $500 on it, don't.
Yeah, I mean they go after different, kind of parts of the fandom, but like if you're just saying figure for figure, what's better, it's a toss up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, Lo, you're right. And that I say that, and that New Age David looks good. I kind of want that Prime, man. I want that in the Ultra Magnus just for my desk at work. The thing looks sick.
Yeah, I got two new age figures. I got the Legend Scare Ratchet, and I got that movie verse Soundwave MP.
Okay.
New age makes a good figure too. That Soundwave, that Soundwave will make my MP Hall of Fame. Like it's really well. It's a excellent figure or whatever. So
yeah, I got their Galvatron to go with the purple potato ship,
yeah,
and also to go with the HasLab Unicron. It's slick. It's painted well.
yeah. That's what's up. So again, thank you guys. Just shouting out some people in the chat. Charlie C, Walter Young, Deluxe. Thank you guys. We're gonna wrap up in a couple of minutes. But anything else you want to talk about here? Anything else you were thinking about?
Let's get yeah, I did get those. Walter, I do have the Magic Square Sunicons. They're pretty good. Let's get people's predictions for the Super Bowl. That's next weekend.
Yeah, so you guys, anybody in the chat, put, if you're a fan, just put who you think gonna win the Super Bowl next week. And I think I'll do a video Super Bowl Sunday morning where I have like some Hall of Fame nominees, and we'll have a poll. I'm gonna try to attach a poll to it so we can talk about what figures going to Hall of Fame, MP figures going to Hall of Fame this year. So
I'm shooting for. I mean, Tom Brady was my guy, man. So to see him go, you know, I was always rooting for Tom. Terrific, but I mean, we lost Stafford, and for a good reason. I think I got to root for Stafford. I don't have a choice, man. I think, but here's the thing: although I'm rooting for Stafford, I really do think the Bengals are about to make some noise. Their defense is not as good, but I think if anything, if they win, it's going to be by like 1 point or field goal.
Oh man, I agree with you. Shout out to Big Stan. That's if you guys don't know Big Stan Collectibles, he got a great YouTube channel, man. He's my buddy, my brother. He's one of the top dudes in the community, man. He's just a great guy. So if you can, go follow his channel. He talks about Transformers, all scales. He-Man, that's G.I. Joe, and he's a professional wrestler too. So you guys who like wrestling, he can really. He's the Texarkana. He's the Southwest champion right now. So
okay,
check him out or whatever. So
that's what's up. Yo, I feel you, Lorenzo. I'm not really a fan of either. I am also looking forward to that halftime. That's gonna be a epic show. Yeah, and I hope they don't rush it because they got a lot of people who got some songs that I want to hear.
I think the Bengals are looking like a team of destiny. Plus, nobody's never won in a home stadium before, so like ever been. Right?
Oh no, Tampa Bay won last year,
and it was at their home stadium. Mm-hmm. Oh well, then
that's where they talking about the Rams. They like the Rams could be the second team to do it. Well, in modern era, because I think there might have been one other team that did it.
So I think that this feels like a classic Stafford throws 2 or 3 interceptions. And he played in Detroit where you were based out of. So I know he could let you down sometimes.
Yeah, and you know it sucks because it's bittersweet. Like you want to see the guy succeed because you know it wasn't him, it was the organization. But then it's also like, man, like you at least had Megatron. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I mean, he ain't had no weapons. He ain't have enough weapons, should I say, and enough defense. Because while he'll throw for 200 or 300 yards and 2 touchdowns with maybe an interception or, you know, a late turnover, the defense never can hold it down. So, yeah.
Charlotte, you haven't paid attention since you saw Janet Jackson Tita. That's when I started paying attention.
Yeah, that's a big fact.
That's when I started paying attention. Hey, Steph, what's your favorite team? I know you said you're a basketball and a baseball fan. Who you like in those sports? I say my prediction. I think the Bengals are the upset. Like I said, I think they're a team of destiny or whatever. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks, Deluxe, for stopping in. Like I said, we're finna wrap up.
Deluxe is crazy.
Yeah, Deluxe always funny, man. If you ever get a chance, man, shake Deluxe's hand, man. He one of the coolest people you'll meet in life or whatever.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Good dude, man. Good dude. Yep. And somebody else said that the Rams are too stacked. I can't root for them. Listen, man, just because they stack don't mean that they're gonna win. I mean, it has happened before where the underdog, they find a way to win, man. So, you know, well, you'll see.
Yeah. ASAP, New York Mets. I'm a Braves fan, so you know we'll see each other in baseball a couple of times. So we just coming off World Series, so I'm high off the hog right now.
Man, listen, if I'm a Lions fan and it sucks to be a Lions fan, it sucks to be a Mets fan. I mean, they have gotten better, but Jesus Christ, you're in the same boat as us, bro.
Matty Ice, Marty Ice, Matty Ice.
Yeah, Atlanta. What they gonna do at the quarterback position, man? I think it's time to make a change.
It's been time. The problem is they paid him so much money, and so like what should have happened was after the Super Bowl they should have kept Kyle Shanahan because he was the MVP that year. Matt Ryan just don't do it. He like playing a video game. Whatever you tell him to do, he gonna do. And so like that year, Kyle Shanahan was on fire, and that's how he won the MVP. And we made it to the Super Bowl or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for him to go. Hopefully we can wait another year and get Bryce Young the following year because I like him. Bryce Young split. So, you know.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Steve Avery, you're right. ASAP, Steve Avery was my guy. Greg Maddux came later, but before Greg Maddux, it was Steve Avery, Tom Glavine, and John Smoltz. And like, man, when they brought Greg Maddux, it used to shit down. I used to live walking distance from the Braves Stadium, so we used to walk to the games or whatever. So before they moved outside the city, but yep. Hey, thank you again, Latchkey Kid. Big Stan, your granddad. Braves were America's team on TBS. That was the only game in town national for a while.
Yeah. I agree.
Yep.
I agree 1,000%. 1,000%. But I think it's going to be a good game next week. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. Or if it is, it's going to be the Rams' way because they just got way too many weapons.
Yeah, it was the good old days. I'm going to tell you like this. I was a huge Doc Gooden fan because I wanted to be a pitcher when I was a little kid. And, you know, you black pitcher. I was a pitcher. I tried to be a pitcher, but, you know, I used to love those those mid-80s teams or whatever. Him and Darryl Strawberry, like that was kind of like when I first started playing Little League. So, you know how you like try to mimic people, and they were hot at the time. I tried to mimic them. So, Mets were good. And the Mets gave me good memories too. Your bitch, man. 90 Braves was super hard. If only we could have got more than one championship, that would have made my day. But
yeah, but y'all was consistent, and that was big in the 90s, man. Y'all were consistent.
Yeah. So we're gonna go on and wrap up. I know it's getting late. And Eric, I want to thank you for coming on. And
oh man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, let the people know where they can find you and everything, all the socials or whatever. So
yeah, man, you can find me, your boy Eric B, in your Facebook groups. Eric Burgess on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, Mr_EatUp82. Occasionally you can find me on the Realm of Collectors podcast. I do the right out the box, or you know what you recently opened, as Deluxe likes to joke around and call it. But I've been on there a few times, and it seems like a consistent thing. But you can also find my wife and I and our board member doing work at Kennedy's Village. That's kennedysvillage.org. You can check out our website. We're also on all your socials at Kennedy's Village. And then as far as my own personal Instagram, I literally just do toy photography on there, man. So if you want to check out some cool little toy photography, you know, that's where you can find me. And that's it.
That's what's up. You always welcome if I do live streams or you want to come back on. You know,
man, just let me know.
And shout out to the chat again. Thank you guys. You guys kept it rocking. I didn't think anybody would be in here.
That was lit.
You guys kept it going. You guys showed up and showed out for me. I appreciate that. And again, congratulations to the winner, man. Congratulations to Todd. Again, if Todd don't win, Jay-Z 457. If he don't win, Rick Law, I know you will be on. So, you know, congratulations to you guys. I hope that we can do more stuff, more live streams, man, and more giveaways again. Thank you guys again. Y'all have a good week, man.
Hey, nice to meet you guys too. And again, thanks for having me, man. Y'all have a good night.